Hey, just before we get started, this is a conspiracy, paranormal, and true crime podcast.
The nature of this podcast is gory, unsettling, and definitely vulgar.
And we curse a lot.
Like a lot.
So be advised.
So we're just two idiots with a mic.
Yo, and welcome back to Creeps and Crimes
Podcast.
I'm Taylar.
And I'm Morgan. I did not have my mic at all close to my face, and she just pressed record and jumped right into it.
And actually it looks like it sounds good.
And I was just like totally caught off guard right there. Anyway, this is episode 92.
92. It might be a little different.
Yeah, guys. We're not really sure what's going on with this episode.
We haven't figured it out yet.
We haven't figured it out. It might be a little different. We're going to figure it out halfway through the episode,
and we'll let you know, but like don't be worried about it. It's like it's not a bad thing.
It's not a big deal.
It's just we might have to separate the episode. That's all it comes down to. Either way, you're gonna get both of your cases today.
Everybody just sit back,
take a chill pill,
chillax,
take a Lumi gummy. You'll hear about that later.
Take a Lumi gummy.
They're so
right
great
now.
Sorry, they're great. I know it's not time for the ad, but ad
Lumi
ad
right now.
Love it.
Guys, also we just got like a shock right now.
Cicadas.
The cicadas are back. They're back in East Tennessee, and we're done. We're moving. Where's a good place that has no bugs? Colorado.
Do they have no bugs?
I'm pretty sure they have no bugs.
They have snakes though.
Yeah. But like that's like if we're like adventurous. We're not. We don't leave.
We're sitting in a house.
We literally don't leave the house ever. We're not outdoorsy.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we'll be fine.
We used to be really crazy go-getters.
Aaron actually asked me yesterday if I wanted to go on a hike, and I shut him down.
No. Remember when we took Ollie on his first hike?
Stop, I'll cry.
Stop, we have to go on another hike.
Literally just came up on my memories this morning.
Okay, fine. We're going on a hike now.
And he was so little, and it was a picture. You know how like they put like a reel of like a video, like a montage, and like your photos, and it was like the first picture was like Aaron holding Ollie, and he was like cupping him in his hands because he was so baby boy.
He was so little.
And he was so little.
He was
so sweet. And then we went and got the best ice cream.
Oh my
ever.
God.
Milkshake.
Is that place still open?
I have no idea.
Do we go?
Where we even went, dude.
Right now?
I would go right now.
Because they had that one that had the cheesecake on top.
A literal giant piece of cheesecake.
I would bite into
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
This like gourmet milkshake truck. We're like, fine, we'll go.
Yeah, it was off of the exit where I get my hair done.
We're travel milkshake girls.
We'll travel trigos.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Oh, that hike was so fun. It was actually, no, it was miserable. It was just uphill.
And it was because the boys were running. Me, you, and Ollie were both in the back like, fuck no.
And our excuse, we kept telling ourselves, we're like, if they ask why we're not up there, it's because we have the dog.
Ollie's getting tired.
We're like, Ollie's tired.
Meanwhile,
they're like, guys, they're like, girls, come on. We're like, Ollie needs a break. And me and Taylor bent over. We're like,
Ollie's not okay. And they're like, are you guys okay? No, because we forgot water too.
Yeah. Poor Ollie.
Remember we climbed up that giant rock?
No, you climbed up the giant rock.
I did. I climbed up the giant rock.
Logan, barefoot in the woods, like a caveman.
He's just my little outdoorsy man.
He is. He really is.
It just blows my mind because I used to be extremely outdoorsy, president of the hiking club.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
As you should be.
As I should.
Yes.
But now I'm just like, dude.
Hiking is not for me.
It's just... I love it. I really do enjoy it.
Did you see
when I
in the
do
news,
it? It's just
how sad is this? I saw on Facebook that a bear ripped open a tent in Gatlinburg and attacked a mom and a 3-year-old girl in Gatlinburg this past weekend.
What?
Yeah.
Like just unprovoked?
Yeah.
Oh,
food in the tent. I think something they said food. But like, how sad is that? That's why I don't camp.
No, I don't camp.
No, I mean that is so terrible. And like, Gatlinburg,
first off, we covered too much murder to be camping in a tent,
especially in the Appalachian, whatever you guys say.
Freaking feral people, no shot.
Yeah, no, those woods or those mountains.
It's a no from me.
It's a big no go for the girls over here.
Yeah, we're not about that life. If you enjoy it, just be safe. Take what you need to protect yourself. And be smart when you're out there.
And the creepy account that we got about Gatlinburg, we will never be returning there ever.
We will never.
Actually, Taylor will probably drag me by
cabin
my
weekends.
legs.
Absolutely not.
Taylor will actually probably be dragging me to that cabin.
No, I will not. You know I don't mess with dark spirits.
You were so down to go when we read the story.
I know, because it just sounds... I just want to walk there. I just want to, see it.
I do not.
I want to feel it. I don't want to stay the night. I don't want to stay the night there. Am I okay?
Oh my God.
I had a glass of wine. Guys, we're doing the 2 recordings at once. We just my birthday episode, so technically
it's still her birthday episode.
It's still my birthday episode.
Episodes, plural.
Episodes. So this is 92. We just recorded 91.
92.1.
I think, did we say 92 or 91 in the beginning?
Oh, we said 92.
I hope we did.
I don't know.
Guys, sorry. But I do have like, we just made a chicken casserole.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Out of nowhere.
Me, you, and Logan were whipping it up in the kitchen.
Oh my God, it took us 5 minutes.
By that, I mean, Logan and Taylar were whipping it up, and I was snacking.
Yeah, we were eating
I did my fair share. I smashed the crackers for the casserole.
You did smash the
with
crackers.
With my bare hands. I was like, I was the feral person in the Appalachian Mountains. I was like, you guys need these crackers crushed? I'll crush them.
She's like, you care about doing my hands? I'm like, no, it's fine.
And I just smashed the shit out of them.
Just go ahead. We're going to put them in the 400-degree oven anyways. You might as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
That was good. We had a glass of wine, and
I mean, I'm struggling.
Yeah,
Don't look at my glass of wine.
You should have mixed it with something like these people on TikTok are doing. Have you seen these TikToks?
No.
Of people like being like, okay, you put this like a Coke into a red wine, or you put like a Sprite into a rosé.
No way.
And they're like, it is a game changer.
Really?
You just get like a high volume alcohol wine.
I'm just like really on a no soda kick right now.
Oh my God, but I'm a Coke girl right now out of nowhere. I haven't drank Coke in years.
I haven't had a soda in probably a good like month and a half, I think.
Yeah, and you like a high C and a...
I am a high C blue Powerade queen.
She is. Every time.
And honestly, like, I mean, there's probably more sugar in that shit than a soda.
There probably is. But I drink like the zero sugar, like Coke Zeros.
Yeah.
Because I put so much lemon in it. It doesn't matter. You can't taste the no sugar.
Yeah. I wish I could do like a Diet Coke or like a Zero or Sprite Zero.
The people that are obsessed with Diet Cokes, I wish I could be you.
I know, but there's no taste to it.
It just tastes like aspartame to me.
Yeah, like a medicine.
Yeah, it tastes like not good. But like so does regular, like I love a regular
Look
Coke.
At me.
What?
Look at me. You're like, I am looking at you, bitch.
I'm staring at you. I've literally...
We're going to be Diet Coke girls.
I don't think I can.
No, we're going to be.
We're
be
a Coke
force
Zero
ourselves
girl.
to be Diet Coke hot girls.
But if we do Coke Zero...
No, Diet Coke girls.
No, but
we have to be with the mini bottles with the straw. It'll be cute. We'll be cute.
You're right. We could do that. Okay,
Diet
well, how
Coke
about
girls.
you be the Diet Coke girl and I'll be the Coke Zero girl?
No, Diet Coke girls.
I don't like I don't like
Why?
aspartame.
Well, me neither. I don't like Diet Coke at all, but we'll try it.
I've tried
Let's
it.
just try it again.
Okay, I'll try it again. I'll try it again with lime. With lime.
With a lime?
Yeah, I'll do it with lime.
Okay.
We're acting like we're like about to take a shot of something. I'm like, I just can't stand the taste of aspartame.
Like maybe like a Diet Coke vodka.
Oh God, no.
Oh, maybe not.
No. What's good with Diet Coke to mix?
Him.
Yeah, Logan just slamming around behind us. Yeah. And here comes the cicadas again.
There's the cicadas.
God, we can't catch a break.
No, we can't. Does the universe even want us to record this?
I don't think they do. But guys, okay, what's your opinion? Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. We won't remember this because this is going to come out in 2 weeks from now. So maybe just DM us and let us know. But are you a Coke Zero, a Coke regular, or a Diet Coke bitch? And are you raw dogging it or are you having it with...
I'm sorry. Bitch, what?
Are they raw dogging this Coke, Diet Coke, or Coke Zero, or are they having it with a lime, a lemon juice?
I can't get over the fact that you've used the word raw dog to me like 3 times today and not in the way that it's usually used.
Yeah, we're just using it like casual.
Okay, it's just not a casual term.
It is a casual term. Are you raw dogging your Cokes or not?
Are we raw dogging our Cokes? You know, I always raw dog my Coke.
I don't raw dog my Coke.
You always put something in it. Well,
Put
I just don't always have like a fresh lime or a fresh lemon to cut up at my house to put in it. I'm not
I always have a fresh lemon or lime on hand.
Well,
or I have
just
the juice.
The fruit and veggie queen, aren't you?
I am.
I'm
because
not.
That's the only snacks I can keep in my home, or my husband pounds all of them. He crushes all of them.
He just crushes them.
They're like, what is the crush term?
It's our favorite word.
It's our new favorite word. And I don't know why it's our new favorite word, but it just makes us laugh our asses off.
We love it.
They're probably thinking it's like an inside joke. No, it's not that deep.
Crushing it.
Crushing it. Oh my God, we should get an orange crush. God.
Oh my, an orange Fanta.
Wait, are you an orange soda or a grape soda?
Oh my God, don't even ask me that again. I'm an orange soda.
Orange soda. Did you ever do like the orange soda floats, the grape soda floats?
Orange soda float.
Orange soda floats. So when I was growing up, I grew up in Cleveland, Tennessee. Everybody already knows that. We're like, we get it, Taylar.
Everybody knows that you grew up in Cleveland,
Tennessee.
This
bitch grew up in Cleveland, Tennessee. If nobody knew, and she grew up in Washington, Pennsylvania.
Everybody knows. Everybody in the world knows where we're from.
She grew up there. I grew up there. Okay, listen. And there was this spot in Cleveland. All my OG Clevelanders know that it was called The Spot. It was this amazing little restaurant that was in downtown. It was right beside my dad's office. So me and my mom used to go in the summers and visit my dad for lunch. And the owners of them were so kind, and they passed away, and then it got sold, and then it closed because
Best orange floats.
It just never was the same. They always had OG orange soda and OG grape soda. And
what is OG?
Like the old types, like the vintage ones before, like not like the Fanta, like the Crush.
Oh, okay.
Like good shit. And it was, and all of their sodas came in the glass bottles. Oh, okay. And it was like set up like this old timey diner. And there's pictures all over the wall of like Cleveland and the people that owned it and their family. And it was so amazing. They had the best burgers and fries and stuff. And even if the food like wasn't 10 out of 10, like the vibe that you got and like the personal like local experience that you had there was 10 times what it was.
We have a couple places like that at home.
Yeah, and they're just like not around. They just
we have one that's been like hardcore popping. Yeah, and that's Shorty's Hot Dogs.
Shorty's Hot Dogs.
Oh
okay, fine, let's go.
Shorty's. They have their gravy fries. Oh my God.
Do we do a food tour along with our Creeps and Crimes tour?
Literally, you know what also we need to do is a this or that poll on our Instagram soon.
We do.
Yeah, okay, so were you like a Huggies kid? Were you a Capri Sun kid? Or were you a high juice box kid?
Oh, no, but the Kool-Aid squirters. I don't think they're really Kool-Aid
I know exactly what you're talking
about.
You
know what I'm talking about? They were like
bottles,
in the fake bottles.
The waxy bottles.
Yes.
Kool-Aid Jammers.
Were they Jammers?
No.
Jammers are like the Capri Sun vibes.
Yeah. Kool-Aid.
But what was your flavor of Capri Sun? Mine was Pacific or Surfer Cooler. They don't make that one anymore. It's now Pacific Cooler. It doesn't even taste the same.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, mine was probably that too.
I love the Kool-Aids. The Kool-Aids in the...
I was also a lemonade girl. I loved everything lemonade. You know me.
I used to love lemonade. I like when Lemonade Head came out, I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I had to have a lemonade in hand all the time.
I loved Huggies though.
Yeah, I did too.
And
my
now
mom
I
would
can't
never buy them for me because
stand
I go crazy.
Yeah.
I would go crazy.
I would get the blue ones, and my lips were just
your lips and your tongue stained more than
my lips were blue as shit. And then at the same time, I'd be at a party and I'd just be eating chocolate cake, and I'd just have chocolate cake all over me,
all over you.
And I'd be like swimming in a pool. I'd be like, Mom, I gotta go. Mom, watch my toe touch off the diving board.
And like, Mom, watch me do a flip underwater.
Yeah. Watch how long I can hold my handstand.
And someone would have like one of them in the neighborhood kids. They'd bring out their boombox.
Yep.
Oh shit. What are we playing? Are we playing Pink Misunderstood? We got the Lizzie McGuire soundtrack on. What is it?
Yeah.
What are we putting on? My dad would burn CDs from home. Happy summer, bitches.
It's summer.
Happy summer.
Summer 2006.
Yeah. Let's go. Dude, that shit was so hype.
Good fucking times.
Yeah. It's been 13 minutes.
Wow.
God, we're just flying through these intros. They're like, shut up and get to the cases. Okay, we will, but it's my birthday.
It's her birthday still.
So shut up.
It's her birthday still, okay?
It's my birthday. I can do whatever I want.
Okay, fine. If you want me to start it, then I'll start it. If you're driving, throw that shit on cruise control.
If you got a glass, pour that shit up.
And let's get creepy. Microdosing has been at the forefront of a lot of wellness movements lately. It feels like every day another celebrity or influencer promotes this practice in their own ways. And our Patreoners, aka the OG Pick Me Call, know that microdosing is something Taylar and I have practiced for years. Our show today is sponsored by Microdose Gummies. Microdose Gummies deliver perfect entry-level doses of THC that help you feel just the right amount of good.
Lately, we have been speaking much more about our mental health struggles, anxiety, depression, lack of motivation, and so much more. And you all know by now that I was diagnosed with ADHD at an extremely young age and have been taking medications ever since. One of my biggest struggles with my meds is that I feel extremely limited in my creativity when I'm on them. Last year, I took a full 365-day break and began microdosing as a way to keep me motivated while still being creative and getting my sleep schedule back on track. Microdosing is not a replacement for my medications. However, it did help me to create a healthier relationship with them.
We have tried so many different types of CBD and THC microdosing methods. So when we were presented the opportunity to work with microdose gummies, we jumped at the chance. They taste and feel amazing, helping me to wind down, get good sleep, and keep up with Taylar's forever changing crazy ideas. Why do you think we've had so many logos, guys? We absolutely 10 out of 10 recommend.
10 out of 10. Microdose is available nationwide. To learn more about microdosing THC, go to microdose.com and use code CREEPSANDCRIMES to get free shipping and 30% off of your first order.
Links can be found in the show description, but again, that's microdose.com and use code CREEPSANDCRIMES to get free shipping and 30% off your first order.
Okay, Morgan, I'm really excited for what you have today.
Yeah, I am doing something a little different today. Something actually, I always say this, but I actually have never done something like this before. So I'm also excited. It's kind of like a 2-in-1 ordeal. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'm just going to jump right into it. My story starts in a former coal mining village called Aberfan, located in the Taff Valley of Wales. Aberfan originally consisted of just 2 cottages and an inn that was frequented by local farmers and bargemen until an English miner and engineer made his way through the village in 1869. By 1966, about 100 years later, the population had grown to approximately 5,000 people, most of whom were employed in the coal industry. So, in 100 years, they got 5,000 people, so it's still a relatively small town.
Yeah.
Per Wikipedia, and please, God, do not hate me or come at me for the source, but you guys, I know nothing about geology of Wales or coal mining or anything of the sort, so for this sake, bear with me. Anyway, it explains that for many years, millions of cubic meters of excavated mining debris were deposited on the side of Mynyd Myrth, which is directly above the village of Aberfan on the opposite side of the valley. So I'm going to try my best way to describe this. Bear with me. These huge piles of loose rock and mining spoil is what it's called, have been built up over a layer of this highly porous sandstone that contain numerous underground springs or aquifers. So they had this huge mine and they're like debris of what they weren't using. They were piling it up on something called tips. And they were piling it up on springs and aquifers. And several of these piles were directly on top of these freaking springs. Meaning this ground was not sturdy and at any second of any day was at risk for collapse.
I mean, God, it's like living in Knoxville.
Literally.
No joke.
Local authorities began raising concerns in around 1963 about the spoil that was being tipped on the mountain, specifically because it was above the village primary school.
Oh, no.
These concerns were all ignored by the National Coal Board's area management. On October 20th, 1966, 10-year-old Errol Mai Jones woke up and came downstairs for breakfast having something important to tell her mother. She said, "Mommy, I'm not afraid to die." And her mom, thinking about just, trying to get her daughter out the door to school, ready, fed, responds to Errol, "Baby, you're too young to be talking about dying. Do you want a lollipop? Let's get your mind off things.
What's going on?
Let's calm down." But Errol didn't want a lollipop. Her mind was elsewhere. She didn't sleep well that night as she had a very intense dream. She says, "Mommy, let me tell you about my dream last night." And her mom's like, "Darling, I've no time right now. Tell me again later." But Errol was adamant. And she says, "No, Mommy, you must listen. I dreamt I went to school and there was no school there. Something black had come down all over it."
What?
But this wasn't alarming to her mom. And now I know that you might think it would be if your daughter came up to you. But the townspeople of Aberfan knew about the coal tips, and they often did worry about their safety. So for her mom, she just thought it was one of those things that,
maybe like she overheard it
and
was like
and it got
thinking,
in her head, and she was just dreaming and had a nightmare about it.
Right.
And it was just one of those things that was so common. The townspeople feared talk of the coal tip. It just provoked her dream. It was just a bad dream, and that it was really nothing to worry about. Her mom thought nothing more of her dream. Her 10-year-old daughter walked out of the door that day. She went off to school, to Pant Glass Junior School, had a usual day, and returned home safe and sound back to her family. They ate dinner together, and Errol went to sleep. The next day is Friday, October 21st, 1966. It's 9 a.m. For weeks it had been raining in Aberfan, and it was raining hard. Children had left their houses that Friday morning, waving goodbye to their mothers who never imagined the tragedy that would unfold just a few minutes later. The streets were filled with a dense, cold, gray fog. The children made their way through the streets into Pant Glass Junior School. While the weather was terrible, the children were still so excited. They had half a day of school before they were about to be released for their half-term holiday.
Oh my God.
When they arrived, they flooded into their classrooms and began their school day. Back on the top of the valley, there were 7 tip spoils. Tips 4, 5, and 7 had been sighted on streams or springs. During the first 3 weeks of October that year, there was 6.5 inches of rainfall, nearly half of which was in the 3rd week.
Oh, God.
During the night of the 20 to 21st nights of October, the peak of tip 7 subsided by 9 to 10 feet, and the rails, which was transporting that spoil to the top of the tip, had fell onto itself. This movement was discovered that morning on October 21st at 7:30 a.m. by a worker on the morning shift. He reported the slip, returned back up to the slip with the supervisor to show him where the tip was, where it was decided that no further work would be done that day, and a new tipping position would be decided the following week.
Oh, God.
At 9:15 a.m., a significant amount of water-saturated debris broke away from tip 7 and flowed downhill at 11 to 21 miles per hour in waves of 20 to 30 feet high.
Oh, my God.
It's 9:20 a.m. 8-year-old Jeff Edwards was over at the library books that were alongside the windowsill at the back of his classroom. He picked up Herge's Adventures of Tintin and returned to his desk. His teacher, Mr. Davies, had just began a math lesson. Seconds later, he heard a thunderous noise that got louder and louder and closer and closer. And the next thing Jeff remembered was waking up, his right foot stuck in the radiator with water pouring out of it. His desk was pinned against his stomach, and a girl's head was on his left shoulder. She was dead. It was black all around him, with a shine of light about 10 feet coming up from above him. He remembers seeing the particles of dust spinning where the light was shining through. He could hear screaming and crying, but as time went on, it just got quieter and quieter as each child ran out of air.
Oh my God.
The spoil began to harden as time went on, like cement hardening. Jeff waited there. 8-year-old Jeff waited there for 90 minutes, gasping for breath, death literally on his 8-year-old shoulder, before being rescued. That morning, approximately 140,000 cubic yards of spoil slid 700 yards down the mountain, destroying 2 farm cottages and killing those occupants that resided inside. A consultant engineer stated that at the 9:15 a.m. wave, material was moving through so quickly that it was releasing an energy that was liquefying the rest of the saturated portion of the tip, and almost instantaneously, the nature of the saturated lower parts of tip number 7 was changed from that of a solid to that of a heavy liquid with a density of approximately twice that of water. And this created this like dark glistening wave that several people saw burst from the bottom of the tip that came barreling down into the valley. Around 50,000 cubic yards traveled across the canal and railway embankment and into the village. The flow destroyed 2 water mains buried in the embankment, and the additional water further saturated the spoil. The avalanche then struck Pant Glass Junior School, demolishing and engulfing much of the structure and filling classrooms with thick mud, sludge, and rubble. It then hit the adjacent secondary school. The avalanche destroyed 18 more homes before it came to a halt and re-solidified. Taylar, here's a picture.
Oh my God, dude. It looks like lava.
Yeah, it looks like a volcano had erupted.
It looks like tar.
Yeah, just imagine a literal 20 to 30 foot waves of tar barreling down.
Literally tar cement is coming towards you.
After the landslide stopped, local residents rushed to the school and began digging through the rubble, moving material by hand or with garden tools. Calls were then made to local hospitals, the ambulance service, and the local civil defense corps. The first miners from the Aberfan colliery arrived within 20 minutes of the disaster, having been raised from the coal seams where they had been working. They directed the early digging, knowing the unplanned excavation could lead to collapse of the spoil and the remnants of the buildings. They worked in organized groups under the control of their pit managers. At that point, I'd look at the coal miners and I'd be like, I mean, honestly, their kids are there, though.
No, your kids are there.
They're the ones that are,
in the school.
Yeah.
I mean,
they probably
their
rushed
kids,
down
it's their neighbors. I mean, it's people that they know. I mean, how many people you said are in this? Like 5,000?
Yeah.
All these people know each other.
They're the ones that inhabit this town.
I straight up would have been like, I will pay you $1 million. I will sign over my inheritance.
20 years prior to this, they're like, you got to stop putting these spills right here, these spoils. Like,
this could have been easily
like, oh, we'll work on
preventable.
And then the dude, 7:30 this morning, he's like, hey, this collapsed. And the supervisor's like,
we'll handle it next
we'll
week.
Fix it next week.
Really?
Yeah, no biggie. Like, we'll get it
You're
next
not worried
week.
about the millions of kids? Not millions, but I mean, basically it is. Like, kids' lives to me are like 5 human lives.
Exactly. Me too.
I know that sounds awful, but it is.
End result, 144 people died.
Oh my God.
Of the 144 people who died in the disaster, 116 were children, mostly between the ages of 7 and 10.
Oh my God.
109 of the children died inside Pantglass Junior School. 5 of the children who died were 5 of the adults who died were teachers at the school.
Oh my God.
An additional 6 adults and 29 children were injured.
Oh, that's awful.
10-year-old Errol Jones, who had that dream of the school just 2 nights before, was one of those victims. Dr. John Barker, who was a consultant psychiatrist at the Shelton Hospital in Shrewsbury, had traveled to Aberfan the day after the tragedy to offer help with the victims and their families, during which he discovered that many children and adults in the town of Aberfan were having these strange dreams, almost like premonitions of this tragedy.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
And what many people didn't know was that Dr. Barker was fascinated with premonitions and their connections to tragedy.
How weird is it that he came in on this?
And believed that people with psychic abilities could predict and foresee the future.
Oh my God.
So once he started hearing this talk, he approached a man named Peter Fairley, a science correspondent for the London Evening Standard, who immediately became an ally to Dr. Barker and to something that turned into a nationwide investigation.
Whoa.
1 week later, on October 26, 1966, Peter Fairley published an appeal in the newspaper requesting any person who had experienced a premonition or dreamed of tragedy before it occurred to get in touch.
Okay.
Over the next 2 months, the 2 men received letters from 76 people claiming to have experienced dreams and premonitions of Aberfan before it occurred.
76.
The coal avalanche.
What?
Because some were so vague, they were kind of just thrown out.
Right.
But 60 of the 74 correspondents were corroborated and backed
60.
Up. Around 36 reported of dreaming of the disaster in the weeks prior to the event, with visions and other forewarnings, including intense feelings of anxiety right before it occurred that fateful morning. Like literal anxiety and panic attacks at 9:15 a.m.
You're kidding me.
On October 21st.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Some cases were a bit more significant. For example, Mrs. Grace Eagleton. Mrs. Grace Eagleton says, quote, "I have never been to Wales, nor do I even possess a television set. 1 week before the disaster, I had a vivid, horrible dream of a terrible disaster in a coal mining village. It was a valley with a big building filled with young children. Mountains of coal and water were rushing down the valley, burying the building. The screams of the children were so vivid that I screamed myself. Everything all happened so quickly. Then it all went black. Mrs. Eagleton had shared her dream with her neighbor because this wasn't the first one of her premonitions that have come true.
No.
And her neighbor corroborated Mrs. Eagleton's story.
Holy shit.
Like, she didn't have a TV set. She didn't have anything.
This is why you keep dream journals, bitches.
Yeah, heard. Dr. Barker belonged to a generation of psychiatrists which were transforming Britain's mental hospitals. He was an only child. He studied at Cambridge University before getting his doctorate in 1948. The rational explanation for premonitions is that, they're coincidences, but Dr. Barker knew that they were something more. After the months that followed the mining tragedy, Dr. Barker and Peter Fairley persuaded a man named Charles Wintour, who was the editor of the Evening Standard, to open something called the Premonitions Bureau.
Oh.
For a year, readers would be invited to send in the dreams and forebodings, which would then be compared to actual events.
I have chills.
This experiment began on January 4th, 1967. They created an 11-point scoring system for the predictions. 5 points for unusualness, 5 points for accuracy, and 1 point for timing.
Okay.
If the trial was a success, they planned to present the results to Parliament and to the British Medical Research Council.
Okay.
In its first 48 hours, the Premonitions Bureau received more than 20 warnings. These were ranging from plane crashes, shipwrecks, tornadoes, hurricanes, train derails, and for the most part, they were accurate.
You're kidding
me.
It
was insane.
Oh my God.
Dr. Barker had 2 people who were his most active for Seers. And almost 2 years after Premonitions Bureau was launched, his reliable tellers began to see signs that Dr. Barker was about to die.
No.
It was around 1 a.m. when Dr. Barker's phone rang. It was a panicked sounding seer who told the doctor that he needed to check his gas supply. He told him he had been worried about him all day. And Dr. Barker left the phone on the line, because it's literally a phone on the line.
On the line.
To come back to let him know that, there is no gas in the car. Like, what's going on? It is me that you're seeing. What's going on? And the seer asked him, do you have a dark car? And the doctor says, it's dark green. Yes. And the seer says, you need to be very careful. You need to look after yourself. And Dr. Barker's like, is my life in danger? And the seer says, yes. That next night, on August 18th, 1968, Dr. John Barker suffered a brain hemorrhage at home. He was 44 years old.
You're kidding me.
Literally a premonition for his own death.
Forehead chills.
People say that his work killed him.
I mean, yeah. Could you imagine if you're sitting here working with people that can see the fucking future?
In his work, this Premonitions Bureau, that was accurate. Like, there's like articles on him, but it all got shut down, dude. All of it got shut down. He was literally the Nostradamus.
Yeah, and we still listen to his shit.
Like, he was literally trying to find he was pooling all of the Nostradamuses around the world together into one. And creating it and going to give it to Parliament, going to give it to the British Parliament.
Let me tell you something real fast. This is exactly why I never allow any medium, psychic, palm reader, anything that I ever see to tell me future events. Ever. Because I would go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going crazy listening to this.
But Dr. Barker, so he had like 2 like main seers. Like they were his psychics.
Susan.
Yes, they were his Susans, exactly. And he always told them, like, I want to know.
You have to tell me.
You have to tell me.
The ones that you trust.
I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And he did.
God.
And he knew.
But
they never met in person. That's the other thing.
Damn.
They never met in person. So he didn't know what color car he had. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they had no idea about these pieces of they didn't have Facebook.
Right.
It's not like you could go and do this shit.
Right.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, this is literally in the 60s.
Wow.
across
in the 60s.
Probably different countries or something.
Yeah, literally. Who knows where they were from?
So wrapping up, swinging back to Aberfan, the aftermath, legislation passed in 1969. They put in a very strict policy on the practice of tipping.
Thank God.
Snaps to you guys. This in turn left the legislation being amended and reviewed across the world. The majority of tips in South Wales have since been removed. The Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh visited Aberfan on October 29th to pay their respects. There now lies a beautiful memorial that marks the graves of the children and adults that lost their lives. But the grass in the town of Aberfan is now green as ever. But the area of the tips and the avalanche is a sickly yellow color, like nature will not let the world forget what we did to it.
I mean,
and
wow.
The souls it took. And that is my segment today. That is the Aberfan Premonitions.
I wonder if it's haunted. It has to be haunted.
And, you know, it was like, I think it was literally like the universe, like, this is not right. Like, you guys need to stop this. This is not supposed to happen.
Like, this is not right.
This is not supposed to happen. So they're throwing these dreams in everybody. Like,
there's got to be things that are man-made. There's, you know, there's like a path that we're all on. And then there's things that are man-made that just block the way.
Every little thing was just mistake. Like, every little thing that was supposed to happen, they were, I mean, holy shit, 74 people or 76 people had premonitions about it. There was a worker that saw it, caught it, took it to the supervisor,
and then
supervisor didn't do anything about it. The board, the council's known about it for 20 years. You know what I mean?
I mean, and it's just like, for me, there's been many times in my life that I've had premonitions, right? Mm-hmm. Or gut feelings, or something's not right. And my mom, from when my first one that like was serious and that I can really remember was, I think I've even talked about it on here before. We were at a red light and it turned green at an intersection. It was after a basketball game. I was asleep in the passenger seat and I had a dream that there were headlights coming at me and hit me. And my mom had just pressed on the gas to make that turn, and I jumped up and I screamed at the top of my lungs for her to stop. She stops. A drunk driver runs the red light.
Crazy.
And we survived. It's because we weren't supposed to die then. It didn't hit us. We were completely safe. It didn't hit anybody. We were not supposed to die. That was not in the plan.
Right.
So these premonitions have to come to people when something is off in the universe.
Right. Like, that was not supposed to happen.
Okay, now let's make it a theory. So what's it called in Loki? Are they the timekeepers?
The timekeepers.
The timekeepers. And when that one path veers off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, off the main timeline.
Then they're supposed to go and fix it.
Yeah.
So are these the veers that are fixed? So they send you a message.
So, like, you think it shouldn't have happened or it should have happened?
Like, it wasn't supposed to happen.
And so they were trying to send the message.
And they were trying to send the warnings.
And they were just sending messages over and over again.
And it just wasn't happening. It wasn't working.
Holy shit.
And maybe the timekeepers are what he had to die because he was giving up the timekeepers. Just like how in Loki... I mean, God, this is 2 episodes of us being like, crazy. Marvel, Marvel, Marvel. But, I mean, guys, think about that shit. Seriously.
Yeah. Marvel's after something.
Marvel's right.
Marvel's right. Marvel's real.
Marvel's real. It has to be. Because, I mean, literally, think about that.
I mean, that little girl, though.
That little girl, she literally said, I had a dream that literally what happened was happening.
That's insanity.
Insanity. And, you know, you can't even fault the parents or the people that had these for, like, doubting themselves. It's something that they hear about all the time. It's constantly on their mind.
Right. Like,
so they're thinking, oh, they just had a bad dream about something that we knew.
Like, we know about Knoxville. It's got horrible fucking pollution, horrible fucking water.
Yep.
Like,
fall through at any time. Literally, our dorm.
We live next to Oak Ridge National Laboratory. We're literally...
Nukes.
Vulnerable at any second of any day.
Any second.
And, like, we know that. Like, it's in the back of our heads all the time.
We talk about it all the time.
So if we have a nightmare about it and I say something to my mom, like, my mom's still going to send me to school.
Exactly.
You know, it's not going to be like a premonition, like, to her. Like, it's going to be like, oh, baby, go to school. Here's a lollipop. Exactly. Like, it's not.
And if I were to have a dream in April living at home about a tornado. Right. Well, yeah, because I went through a giant tornado in my hometown. So, of course, I'm going to be on edge about a tornado.
Right. Oh, my God. I can't. I can't believe 76 people. And I wonder if a study like that were to come back out, how many other disasters like that, how many other people have premonitions that just don't think about it because they're not asked.
No, dead ass.
Do you know what I mean?
Logan had a dream last night that aliens came down, took him captive, and that he made friends with his enslavers, and they were like gonna help him try to steal a ship to come back to Earth.
Like if we all kept a dream journal and we all recorded that shit, a lot of the times I don't remember my dreams.
No.
But I know they're meaningful. I know
our text message thread is a dream journal.
We do have a dream journal ourselves.
We straight up have a dream journal.
But like if we all kept a dream journal and we all like log them into some sort of thing, like I literally think we could prevent certain things.
Oh,
but then that would be preventing death, and I think that would alter our
everything.
timeline, literally.
I mean, Morgan knows this, and I'm not going to tell too much detail on it because it's still very close to my heart, is that I had a dream in the middle of 2020. In 2020, I had a dream about 2 dates. One that just recently passed and one that is to come. And I was freaking out, and I got the year wrong. Yeah, we know I got the year wrong. And I thought it was 2021. It was actually 2022. And I had a dream about it 2 years ago, and I've told people about it for 2 years.
She immediately woke up and wrote the dates down.
I wrote the dates down, and I talked to Morgan about this for 2 years. Everyone that's known me in my personal life knows these 2 dates. And the first date that recently happened, the thing that I thought was going to happen happened to me. It happened.
Insane.
And we still have one more to go. I'm not ready for it.
We are going to be hopefully in Mars by then.
Yes. Because I can't.
It's insane.
I mean, seriously.
What an awful story.
It's a terrible story. It's an awful story.
But like this dude had like so much research behind, and then literally got killed by his own work. Like his premonitions
came after him, which is why I'm like, is that the timekeepers? Because you don't want to know that there's a such thing as a timekeeper,
right? Because
think about, like, if you were to look, okay, so before I even watched Loki, me and Morgan had a lot of, I think we even talked about on the podcast, talks about fractals, this shape of trees. It's what our veins look like in our body, and like all the systems in Earth, like water, lakes, everything. They spread out and they go on cracks like that, like. That's what time
branches
was shown as in Loki.
Yeah.
That shit is so whack.
Welcome back to 204 again for the second week in a row.
We're on the couch. That's just, we have to start doing this on the couch.
We're glad to have y'all here. Hey, listen though. It's Taylar's turn.
Yeah.
But
write down your dreams.
I know it looks like the episode's over because
it's not.
It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Taylar's episode's right after this.
Yes. Okay, so you want to explain to them what's going on?
You explain.
Okay.
Your case. You explain. You got it.
So basically, we're going to do a separate episode for my case. It's still episode 92. It's just going to be like a 0.2, and it's going to be shown as a bonus. But the case that you're going to get from me is a case that we have been working with a family extremely close on, and it is a current active case for a missing person. And we decided that to make it easily, thank you.
Not sure where the B is
coming from. I don't know where it came from either. Easily shareable. That's where the B came from, shareable. We wanted to put it in its own segment. So an extension of this is going to be posted by 8 a.m. on the same day that you're listening to this. So it's already out, and it is Missing Andrea Knabel. So please head over and listen to this case. Trust me, you're going to want to get involved in this one. We have really been so connected with this family, and, you know, I've taken on such a personal role in like my feelings on this case and Andrea. So please pop over, listen to that. It's not over yet. We've still got cases for you. We just wanted to make sure there wasn't a long intro and talking about premonitions in Loki before Andrea's case.
Yeah. So head on over there and
we'll get off of here.
Let's
Morgan,
find our girl.
I loved your effing case today.
Thank you.
I hated it. It was so sad, but I love the talk about premonitions. I've loved the last 2 episodes we've done.
Thanks,
guys.
All right.
Thanks for forcing us to be cool.
Welcome.
Love you guys.
Oh wait, thanks.
Head over. Thanks. Love you. You're welcome. Head over to missing Andrea Knabel.